Welcome back to the King's Corner, the place for all things Bethesda. I am the KingFanMan, and this is the KingCast, the live podcast on all things Bethesda. And we've got a lot to talk about today. I thought it was going to be a slow news day, but there's a lot of news to talk about. Plus, I want to talk about what you would like to see in Fallout 76 in the future, because we're about to get a lot of new content and probably about to get a roadmap from Bethesda. That should be coming very soon, by next month. So I want to know what you would like to see. Do you want to go off the map somewhere? Do you want something to added to the map? So we're going to have a good podcast today. Talking, as always, I'll take your questions and comments and then go over the weekly news. And there has been a lot of weekly news. So welcome. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Y'all please hit the like button as well. That helps get this video out on YouTube. All right, what are we going to talk about today? Of course, Fallout 76 has an update that is coming. It's not coming soon. It's coming April the 27th, but there's a lot in it. So we're going to break down what's coming in that update. I've played a lot of it on the PTS. So spoiler alert, I'll let you know about what I think about the things that are on the new update. And there's always some surprises as well. So we'll talk about that. We're going to talk about, again, that roadmap for Fallout 76 that should be coming within the next month as well. I expect it to come around when we get that update, and they'll be telling us what they're planning for the whole year in Fallout 76. And I bet it's going to be more than ever because of the Microsoft purchase of Bethesda. So we're going to get into that. Also, we heard this week that the ZeniMax board was dissolved. We'll get into talking about that. There's going to be obviously no E3 this year, but there will be an event this summer that was confirmed that we're going to cover. And then, of course, the thing that's on the thumbnail, there's a 90% chance that Starfield is coming this year. I can't wait to give you the information on that. And then, of course, don't forget about Deathloop coming in May. So everybody, welcome to the KingCast. That's a little bit of what we're going to talk about today. So let's start and just jump right in with this new update that's coming. I'm not going to go too in-depth and take up too much of the podcast with it because it's so far away. It's coming next month, but it's called Locked and Loaded. And there are some good things, some things that we've been waiting on. Hey, Ghost, it is a long time. How are things? Things are great. I hope things are going well with you as well. We need to play Fallout 76. We need to do a live stream. And I'm ready. I'm beyond ready. Locked and Loaded, if you have a chance and your own PC, get the PTS. It helps Bethesda out, and you can also see what is coming. And if you like it, and you can do what I'm about to do, tell you what I think about it. There's a couple of things in it, like I said, that we've been wanting that sounds really, really, really good. One is the Perk Loadouts. Now, I mentioned these last week in the podcast. I'm not, and y'all know I'm not critical. I try not to be critical anyway. But the Perk Loadouts are not as easy as you think they're going to be. Maybe they had to do it the way they did it. Hi, my queen. How are you doing? But the Perk Loadouts are really clumsy. I compare them to the ammo converter. But again, Bethesda had a lot of trouble getting them into the game. We've waited forever to get them into the PTS. They're going to be good when you get it figured out and get everything done. My advice to you is to use the little machine they give you. It's a lot easier if you use the machine. But you have to pick your numbers out before you pick your perk cards, and it just makes it very cumbersome. Now, camp slots that is coming in this Locked and Loaded update is going to be amazing. It's 2 right now, even though we hope there's going to be more in the future. And by the way, it's the same with the Perk Loadouts. You only get 1 new one, so you have two Perk Loadouts. In the multiple camp spots, it starts out with 2. Hopefully they'll give us more in the future. But what you can do is you can actually build your house in one location and build another house in another location, and they are both saved. Now, you can only have 1 at a time, but what's so neat is you can switch them on the fly. You don't have to get out of the game or nothing. You just go to the map, say, hey, I don't want that house anymore. I want this one over here. It makes it great for fast traveling. It makes it good if you're like on a resource drop. Maybe you've been collecting iron and now you need to go to collect junk, whatever it may be. Maybe you just have two favorite spots or more than two. I have a lot of favorite spots in Fallout 76, but the camp slots are going to be really, really, really good. So I'm looking forward to those two. Head over to the PTS, help Bethesda out and making those less cumbersome. Now, there's also going to be some changes in the daily ops. And again, like I said, I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but I did want to go over it right at the start of the podcast. I really enjoyed the different daily ops that I did in the PTS, and it was totally different. Okay. You have to do different things, and I'm not going to spoil it and give away everything that's going on, but they've got new enemies, new mutations, and new missions on top of new locations. So enemies, mutations, locations, and you do different things. You don't just have to repair the three things and then the main bad guy. So looking forward to the new daily ops, because I love the daily ops, but it does get old after a while because you've memorized everything. So this is very, very much needed. Also, there's going to be new rewards coming through the daily ops, which is awesome. An Enclave armor set, that's something new that's coming. But there's a lot of new things that is coming through the daily ops. New rewards. So if you're tired of getting the Vault 94 stash box or the Vault 94 jumpsuit, then take heart. There's going to be some new things coming. Also, in this update, there's going to be some new treasure hunter event rewards as well, because remember, we have the treasure hunter event coming up. So it's really good if you've already gotten all the rewards from the treasure hunter. If you play a lot, you probably do. So there's going to be new ones there. If you don't, that's even more neat stuff to get. So if y'all want to talk about anything about the update that's coming, I welcome the questions. I welcome the comments. But I really want to talk about, before we get into Starfield and what's going on with Xbox and the ZeniMax board dissolving and all that, we're going to talk about that in a little bit, I promise you. But what I want to talk just for a minute about is what you want this year in Fallout 76. What future content do you want to see? I made the point last week, and I want to differentiate and make it again. Fallout 76 needs new content for those people that have been there since the beginning. Those people that play it all the time, like myself, and I know there's a few others here on the KingCast as well that are like that. However, if you are new to the game or haven't been playing long, there is a ton of content. It's not like Fallout 76 don't have enough content. It's a great, now that they've added Wastelanders and Steel Dawn and then the original quest line, plus things like the Sheep Squatch quest line, the Scouting quest line, there is a lot of content. And I didn't even mention the Mistress of Mysteries and all the side quests that the original game already had. So if you're thinking about playing or new to the game, my word, I'm not saying that the game does not have enough content. But for those of us that have been there since the beta, been there since day one, it's time for some new content, and I mean quest type content. Now, what do you want? There's two main things that I really want this year as far as content goes. Number one, I want a quest off map. I want them to leave the map. I think I even know how they're going to do it, either through the train tunnels, or we've talked about that before, but I would love to see us go to Washington, D.C., to Pittsburgh, or to just some random spot. But that is something that I really, really, really would like to see this year. And I think it's not only possible, I think it's probable. By the way, if y'all are chatting, I can't see anything. I've got a couple of chats. There's one. Hey, I'd love to quest in DC. Dr. Demento, how you doing? Jenny says, I would really love if they do an expansion that involves the pit. See, I said that since it's referred to in miscellaneous dialogue, and I would love this to be and off the map 1. Well, hey, we were talking about the same thing there. Thank you, Jenny, for that comment. Kane says he'd like to go off the map as well. Hello, Danny. Welcome. I think I've said hello to everybody that's in the chat. But you're welcome. Please give me your questions. Give me your comments. I would love to hear from you as well. Then the second thing that I would love to see off the map, I believe not only is possible, but it's probable for this year. The second one, probably not, but I want to start a write-in campaign. You know, Bethesda always says, hey, give us your ideas of what you would like to see in the game. And they actually use those. If they get enough people saying, this is what I want, they will try to do it. So one thing that I want, I just did a new Fallout Scary Places on the castle in Berkeley Springs. If you haven't watched it, shameless plug, please go watch that after the podcast and share it with your friends as well. It needs more views. But somebody mentioned on there that, you know, the castle is pretty much boarded up. There's the one room you can go in upstairs where the roof fell in, but it's pretty much boarded up. And if you think about it, compared to most BGS games, Fallout 76 has a lot of boarded up buildings, some of them really big, neat buildings. I would love to see them open up some of these buildings. And I don't even mind. They can keep it in the open world and just, you know, put some stuff in there, or they can actually turn it into a quest line as well. But there's still so much on the map of West Virginia. I know we want to go off map, but there is so much that they could do with what's there already without even adding any new buildings. You know, open up that castle and put a ghost in it, like my video. Y'all go watch the video. So that's the two things I want to see this year. I do want to go off the map, but I really want them to concentrate on the map that's already there. And again, they could add it to the open world, just open the doors and, you know, do it that way. Or without having to add any kind of stress to the game, they could just make it a new load screen and something else. So that's what I would like to see. Uncle Johnny says, hey, what's up, King? I ain't happy about all the new gear being put into the daily ops pool. If it ain't craftable and tradable, I'm not interested. Yeah, I know you're talking about the Brotherhood of Steel armor, as well as the Enclave armor that is coming up as well. Yeah, I wish things were all things were tradable and sellable. One thing, and this is another thing, y'all can write Bethesda and say, hey, the reason they do it and the reason that it's different is it seems like the things that you pay gold bullion for, obviously you can't sell, trade, or drop or anything like that. But if you're going to have a gold system, and the whole point, y'all stay with me, the whole point of Wastelanders was getting the gold to do what with it? What did they want to do with it? Make it the new monetary system instead of bottle caps. I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? If you have gold and you have bottle caps, which one would you want to start trading with? So since that was the whole mission of Wastelanders, doesn't it make sense that this year they would make a system of trading not only gold bullion, but these items that you buy with gold bullion? Now, I'm fine with you can't trade them for caps or anything like that, but we need a gold system of trade then. And I think that would fit very much in with the lore of what they did with Wastelanders. Y'all tell me what you think about that idea. So I'm with you, Uncle Johnny. I think they need to, they definitely need to add to that gold trading system that they wrote into the lore of the game. I mean, it is the lore of the game now. That's why both the Wastelanders and the Raiders actually did it, but it's especially why the Overseer said we need to get that gold, because we need to set up a new system of, you know, it's like today, we're not on the gold system anymore in the United States. And I'm not going to get political or anything like that, but your money is much stronger when it has gold behind it. So you could even do it where the bottle caps represent the gold. however you want to do it. I mean, there's all kinds of ways that Bethesda can write this into the lore and make all these things tradable. Okay, Kane, I got a lot of comments here I got to see. Kane says, yes, please go watch the Scary Places series. They are great. Thank you, Kane. I appreciate that very much. They could do interior cells to help reduce server issues. Yeah, that's what I said on opening up those buildings. Some of them are huge. So just next time you play Fallout 76, go through Charleston and see how many buildings are boarded up. You know, go through some of the towns and see all these houses and again, 2-story buildings, 3-story buildings, all boarded up. And I understand why Bethesda did it in the beginning. It's time saver. It's also a server saver as well. And I think that's mostly what they were worried about at the launch of Fallout 76. But now that the servers are more stable, no, they have a handle on how to keep the servers more stable. I think we can open up some of those buildings. And like Kane says, if you think it's going to stress out the server, just open up a new cell, which is how some of the buildings are anyway. You go into it through a loading screen. So absolutely. Horace says, yo, hey, Horace. Danny says, legendary weapon pay with gold. That's what I'm talking. If you got it with gold, like the Gauss shotgun, the Gauss minigun, yes, you do have to pay for weapons with gold. You get the plan, and then you make it yourself with the legendary modules. But those, after you make them, you can't trade them with a vendor. You can't trade. You can't even go back to Vault 79 and trade. So see, there should be a way. On maybe if it's just at Vault 79 where you can trade those weapons that you've made for whatever, for a little bit of gold bullion. Let's see. Kane says, well, we know from the games that come later in timeline that the caps is the currency, so maybe the gold deal dries up. Kane, what I'm thinking, and that's a great thought. We know that the gold is not going to go to Washington, D.C. We know the gold's not going to go to Boston. At least it's not going to last 100 years or the dates of the games that we have later on. But it can be in the local Appalachia area for a time. And then they can actually write into how the gold goes away, or we wasn't good at it or something. But right now, they did this to themselves. They wrote into the lore that we got this gold to set up a money system. So if they don't ever try to set up a money system, it's kind of weird. Let's see. Radiated Beast says, I wish they would put mannequins in the game so that we could show off our armors and outfits. Well, guess what? You wish, and it comes true, because those mannequins are coming. Absolutely, they're coming. Not only are the mannequins coming, but there is armor stands that are coming that look like that. They look just like the Fallout 4 power armor stands, and that's probably what they are. But yes, we're going to be able to display, I know for a fact, our armors, and I'm pretty sure we're going to do our outfits as well. And yes, I do believe that will be part of this next update that comes April the 27th, and that's update 26. So you ask and you receive. I do want to ask somebody asked on my comments, how do you get the Fallout 4 power armor displays? And it's been so long. I always had them, and I know they come through the build menu. But does anybody remember if it's a plan you have to get, or how do you start with the power armor displays in Fallout 4? If anybody's played Fallout 4 lately and remember, please tell me so that I can answer that person that asks me, and they may even be here on the KingCast as well, that question about Fallout 4. Hey, Garrett, what's going on? Great to have you here. He says, this should cheer me up in a stressful time. I'm sorry you're stressed, but yes, I hope I bless you today and get you happier. Dr. Demento says, same, I want mannequins. Cirque says, hey, King. Hey, Cirque. There is Allison Trey. What about the theory that Fallout 76 is a Chinese simulation? I have heard that. I don't believe that. I believe that with Bethesda's writing, And y'all know this, if y'all have looked at the actual lore behind Fallout 76. Fallout 76 explains a lot between Fallout 1, Fallout 2, and Fallout 3. It really is filling in the gap great. There's people that say, oh, they broke lore because the Brotherhood of Steel came to West Virginia. That's so silly. They're writing the story, okay? And if they make a reasonable way how it happened, then it happened. So with all that said, I honestly believe, Trey, that Fallout 76 is canon. It's going to be canon lore for the Fallout timeline. I believe that 100%. I think that Chinese simulation thing came out, which, by the way, if any of y'all wonder what he's talking about, if you remember in Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 as well, you could get into one of those memory machines. You actually sit down in the chair. You remember that in Fallout 4, and the screen came down, and then it's like virtual reality. There were some that suggested, and this was soon after the Brotherhood of Steel thing was announced, that Fallout 76 is not canon. It's just a Chinese simulation. In other words, the Chinese are putting us through this. But I really don't think it is, and I hope I explained why. Jenny says, I'm excited about the skeleton Mannequin 2. Absolutely. Let's see. Lord Gosson, I hope I said that right. I want Fallout New Vegas 2. That would be awesome. Yes, I would love to see something like that in the future. LH says, power armor stands are from the Wasteland Workshop DLC. Thank you, LH. The Wasteland Workshop DLC. That is right. I can remember it now. I'm not going to say I knew that, but I do remember that now. Jeremy, welcome to the KingCast. Glad you're here. Bottle caps are more plentiful and everywhere, so maybe it's the people's currency. Yeah, and that's why it goes nationwide, obviously. And again, they would have to do some writing about what happens to the gold in the future, why it doesn't last, into making, of course, one reason, Kane, if you want to go back to that, there is no centralized government. And we know this all the way up until Fallout 4. There's no centralized government. So you're exactly right. The people use bottle caps, and what the overseer's trying to do was to start a government. So I really want to see if they continue that writing. I know they've kind of changed, and we're going down the Brotherhood of Steel quest line. But if you think about it, Wastelanders is not over. What we started with the gold cannot be over. I really think there'll be something in the future. When will the 4th season start? It starts, I'm afraid, at the next update. They haven't said anything different. If anybody knows anything different, let me know. I think that's way too long to wait. But yeah, I think it's next month on April the 27th is what I've heard. Yep, Kane says that's it. But maybe they will actually start it before. I would love that. But remember, they had a delay with the snow. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I mean, truly, some of them were out of power for 2 weeks and couldn't work. So maybe that's the reason we're delayed, because we're at the time right now where we should be switching over to season 4 if it was like it was in the past. Garrett says, and by the way, I'm about to get to Starfield news if y'all want to talk about that in just a minute. I know we've talked about Fallout 76 for a while. Garrett says, I'm still trying to be patient for the next part of Steel Dawn, the big part. Steel Dawn was great, but so short. It sure was. I did it all in one day. I expect to get some of the mysteries expanded. Yes. And I would like to know who y'all went with, by the way. Did y'all go with the paladin, the woman, or did y'all go with and boy, my memory's terrible. What's his name? Kane can tell me what their names are. But I would just like to know which one y'all went with, because I've actually changed my mind. The Shin, yeah, Shin's the one, and y'all pardon me, that's my mother's phone. So, and you're even hearing who's calling. I went with both, says Allison Trey. Cindy's husband. Hey, King. Happy to see you. I'm so happy to see you. Thanks for joining us here. Romani, thank you. Paladin Romani. Who'd you go with, Paladin Romani or Shin? I changed. Now, with my main character, I said I haven't decided yet because I really didn't like, and I'm not going to do any spoilers if you haven't done the Steel Dawn quest line yet, but I was really unhappy with Paladin Romani's actions at the end of the quest line. Shin is just a kind of a nerdy personality, a jerky personality, but that does not make him wrong. Okay. So, your heart kind of wants to go with Romani, but my brain wants to go with Shin. So, that's the way I feel about it. Okay. Again, I want to hear what you guys want for Fallout 76 this year. Again, I believe a roadmap will be coming out next month where they tell us what they're going to do, what they're planning. Do you think it's going to be more now that Xbox, they have Xbox's resources? I think it will be. I think it can only help Fallout 76. Okay, I'm not done with Fallout 76, but I do want to get to the Starfield news. I put it on the thumbnail, so I definitely don't want to leave y'all hanging. There have been rumors after rumors after rumors. Y'all have heard me say it. Y'all have heard a lot of YouTubers say that Starfield will be revealed this year at Bethesda's event. And by the way, remember, there's going to be no E3 in June, but this is great. What was her name? The assistant to Pete Hines, the one that's right under Pete Hines, said the other day, I think her name's Erin. She said the other day that this summer, we are going to have a Bethesda showcase. So we're going to have an event like E3 for Bethesda. It's just going to be a little later. It's going to be this summer. But yeah, no E3. I know that. Isn't that terrible? But again, all these rumors about Starfield going to be revealed this summer and then come this fall. That's been my prediction for a long time. Well, an insider of the industry came out this week and said he believes there is a 90% chance. Now, this is a guy, let me get his name here for you, Jeff Grubb. He works for Venture Beat. He's a reporter, but he's a veteran in the industry, and he has a history of spilling the beans about unannounced projects. So this is not somebody that is not in the know. He has a lot of contacts. He knows a lot of people. And he says on the record that there is a 90% chance that Starfield will be revealed this summer, and it will come out in November before Christmas. Now, the only reason I believe, because he says it a little later in the article, but the only reason I believe that he puts it at 90 instead of 100% is because of we don't know what's going to happen with COVID. And he even mentions that unless COVID slows things down or stops this or whatever. Because remember, it's not just Bethesda going through COVID. It's anybody they have to deal with. It's the people that make the boxes for the game. Everybody's going through the COVID. So, but 90% chance, and that's an insider that says that. So that is amazing. Related B said, I heard this winter Bethesda was coming out with a DLC that we will pay for Fallout, meaning Fallout 76. I'll wait to answer after you say that. Trey says, Jeremy says, I kind of like the scribe lady. I love the scribe. Now, the girl scribe, she's my favorite. I can't remember her name right now, but don't tell Queen. I always like to go back to Atlas and talk to her. Yeah, she's nice. Garrett says, by the way, King, I got my fiber optics put in. All right, I'm hitting 1,000. I'm jealous. I'm not even going to tell you what it's hitting right here at Mom's house. You can probably see it, but it's pretty bad. Trey says, depends on who you think the BOS is. Are they Lions BOS or Maxons? That's a huge point if you know anything about the lore. I agree with that. I agree that you see the total different philosophies with Romani and with Shin. But again, I'm going to go back to it. and this is what changed my mind, okay? At first, I was thinking what I want the BOS to be. And that's really not the decision that you would make in that situation. It's what is correct. And what the Paladin did, what Romani did at the end of the quest line, again, I'm not going to say it, but it was totally wrong. There is no way to justify what she did. And then you start digging into why she did what she did. Go into and make sure you know and understand what happened to this group on the way to West Virginia. They'll talk about it a lot. In fact, after you get through with the Steel Dawn quest line, go back and talk to both the Paladin and the Shin and the Scribe Girl and even some of the other BOS initiates and some that were with them. You'll find out why she wanted to do what she did. So I have a real hard time going with Paladin Romani. Now I'm giving away where I'm going. So, okay. Yeah, Uncle Johnny says Fallout 4 displays comes from the DLC. Thank you so much for that answer. I could not get it to come back to me. How? Garrett says, back to work. I promise I will catch up. You better watch it later, Garrett. Will Starfield immediately be on Game Pass, or will they sell digital and hard copies? Just my opinion, but I think they are trying to bolster Game Pass right now. I think it will go on Game Pass. I think they will also sell hard copies. I'm making my prediction right now, and I hope this is the way it is. I believe that Starfield is going to be a limited timed exclusive. In other words, I don't believe it's going to be a full out exclusive where Sony cannot get it. Now, this is just my opinion, okay? They haven't said anything. But if they do anything like they've done in the past, and according to what Phil Spencer said on on that little podcast they have, the best place to play Starfield will be Xbox. And he literally says Game Pass. So yes, I think Starfield will go to Game Pass, but I think if you're on Xbox Game Pass, I think you're going to get benefits. Now, what those benefits are, that's up to Bethesda and that's up to Xbox. If they make this a limited exclusive like I'm talking about, or maybe you'd call it an incentive exclusive, Sony would still get it, but Xbox is going to get extra things. They're going to get DLCs early. They may even get the game 2 weeks early, whatever it be. That's the limited exclusive that I'm talking about. But I'm taking Phil Spencer at his word. The best place to play, it's going to be on Xbox Game Pass. So you can get Xbox Game Pass on PC, which is good. And then, of course, on Xbox. So, but that limits Sony. I still think Sony will get Starfield, but it will be not bad limited. But again, I think there's going to be a benefit by playing it on. And I'm not trying to sell Xbox here. I'm just telling you what I think is going to happen. Bella says, what's up, big guy? How the 76 life going? Well, hey, Bella, it's going great. I tell you, 76 is a little slow for me right now. I've done the whole scoreboard, but it's given me a time to play some other games as well. I still get on 76 a little bit. I'm waiting on the new content. But right now I'm going back and playing Rage again and really enjoying it more the second time. I've played Doom Eternal some, and I'm still trying to dabble with Cyberpunk, even though it's not my cup of tea. Don't tell Queen. Queen, you're listening. Oh, no. Trey says, I think the real Brotherhood of Steel are Maxons and the Outcast and Shin. Lord Goshen, I hope I'm saying it right. You think they really going to tie all three games, Starfield, Elder Scrolls, and Fallout together? No, I don't think so. I think it's been confirmed by Bethesda. Pete Hines was actually asked this, shortly after Starfield was revealed, if all of these are in the same universe or not. Todd Howard was asked it as well. And no, they are not. So they're not in the same universe, thousands of years apart or anything like that. So that has been confirmed. Let's see. remember how Todd said that all 3 games take place in the same world? I think if you go back, he said they don't. But I don't want, again, my memory's not good. But I think he said they don't. But we'll talk about that next podcast, because I'll make sure and go back and check. I'm sorry about that. But I almost believe that he said they don't, and Pete Hines said the same thing. Some other people tell me if I'm right. I think I am. Kane says, likely digital copy, but will also most likely be on Game Pass day one. I agree 100%, which I'm going to gripe again, guys. I love the physical copies. I love those physical copies, and I know they're going by the wayside, but man, I like to have the box, and I even like to have the steelbook. I guess I can do the way Wolfman told me. He said, well, get the digital copy and then go to the store and buy the steelbook, because you can buy the steelbook normally when the game comes out without the game in it, believe it or not. Will they make more money with Game Pass, subs, or selling units of the game? I think when the game comes out, they will probably make more money this time on selling the game. I don't know. That's a good question. The more I think about it, because if they announce day one, Starfield's coming to Game Pass, yeah, I can see them selling a lot of subscriptions to Game Pass. Wow. That's a good question. I'm gonna have to think about that a little bit more, Trey. I would say I think they would sell more games, but that's just because I'm old school and I like going to the game store and buying the game. But again, are game stores going to go the way of video rental stores? Are any of y'all old enough to remember video rental stores? They were huge, Blockbuster, but there were all kinds of video rental stores everywhere. I hope game stores don't go that way. I really hope they stay around, because I like going to the game store. I would like to have a game store. See, I'm dumb. It wouldn't be really cool, or it would have been really cool if the Zaytons were in Starfield. Now that would be neat. And going back to what Lord Gosen was saying, I do know this. They're going to put Easter eggs in the games that will point to Fallout and that will point to the Elder Scrolls. But they've also done that in Doom. I mean, Doom Eternal, you actually see the guy with the arrow in his knee. Well, does that mean that Doom Eternal and the Elder Scrolls are in the same universe? No, it just means they put a Easter egg in there for all of us. So Kane says Xbox is all in on Game Pass. They make a lot of money from that, and then the subsequent game sales after. I agree 100%. Again, Phil Spencer said the best place to play games is on Xbox Game Pass. And he was talking specifically about future Bethesda games. He didn't say Xbox. He said Xbox Game Pass. So that's going to be the best place, according to Phil Spencer, to play the games. Now, I'm still going to order my physical copy of Starfield. Hopefully, my wife will let me get the special edition. You know, maybe we'll even get maybe we'll get a space helmet with it. Who knows what's going to... No, I want the steelbook at least, though, of Starfield. But I will tell y'all this, and I may learn to not be this old school anymore. When Fallout 76 came out, and some of y'all will remember this that's been with the channel that long, I ordered mine directly from Bethesda. I ordered the helmet, you know, the special edition, all that stuff. And Miss Queen, how long was it? It was like a week and a half, 2 weeks. I was waiting on my game after the game had come out. In fact, one dear subscriber actually bought me the game on Xbox so I could start playing. I was waiting on my PC copy, and somebody actually bought me the game because I would come on here going, well, it looks like a good game. I'm ready to play it. But so, you know, digital copies, Xbox Game Pass, I know it's so much easier. It's so much faster. So yeah, that's why it's going that way. Jenny says, I still have my Blockbuster card. Good job, Jenny. Don't throw that away. That may be worth something one day. Lord Ghosten says, I sometimes wonder, had they done Fallout 76 like ESO MMO, would it have been a better move? Because 76 got a lot of bad feedback in the start. Yes, but if you remember, ESO got a lot of bad feedback in the start as well. It had a rough launch. Now, I would say Fallout 76's was worse, but no, ESO was a really rough start, and they have turned that into the biggest MMO community that's out there. It's gotten the MMO of the year. It got it like 4 years in a row. So yeah, they've really made a difference with ESO. But it had a rough start. I was there on day one of ESO. I think Fallout 76 has turned that corner. I think it's had a core community that did not leave it, that liked it, no matter its troubles, and it has grown from that. I did a on this podcast not too long ago. I say not too long ago. It was back probably early fall, but I had just Sony's statistics because they actually put out how many people are playing the game, and it's really hard to find. Bethesda don't do that. Bethesda won't tell you how many people are playing Fallout 76 right now. But Sony did put out their numbers. And from launch until this fall, which I think numbers even went up after that, the number of players on 76 it just steadily moved up. Now, you know, it wasn't like other games that it was huge right at the start, but it's been a steady increase since the launch of 76. And I believe, y'all tell me what you think, but I believe with Microsoft's backing now, that's going to do nothing but help Fallout 76. There was an article that came out just this week, and it was talking about what Todd Howard said about the launch of Fallout 76. You know, he actually said, yeah, we made some big mistakes. We let a lot of people down. But do you know what Bethesda did after the launch of Fallout 76? They actually contacted two people. One was in-house, was ZeniMax Online, to say, help, you know, y'all have been through this, help us. But they also, Todd Howard actually reached out to Xbox, to Microsoft, and said, give me some advice on what we can do to turn 76 around in the public's eye. So what you see happening with Fallout 76 right now, Microsoft has been influencing it. They were the ones that helped, at least with advice, for Wastelanders, the Wastelanders DLC, which did turn the negative tide away from Fallout 76. Okay, let's see. Got to catch up. Yeah, Doom has a lot of Easter eggs. Sure does. Trey says, me and you are old, King. You have your own game store. There is one in Little Old. I got to get this Georgia town right. Thomaston. I love the little game stores, the little what I call mom and pop game stores. Not a chain game store. They're okay, like GameStop. I like the ones that are just mom and pop, and you never know what you're going to find in those. I love those, and I hope they don't go away. Kane says, I bought 3 copies of the Tricentennial edition of 76. I'm not even going to tell you how many copies of 76 I have now. I have, well, I'm lying. I am telling you. I have 2 on Xbox, 1 on PlayStation 4, and then my PC. And then I bought Steelbook on one of them because I got it on sale. I can't say all this because Queen's listening, but yeah, I got a lot. And then if you want to talk about Skyrim, oh my word, I bought Skyrim. Seems like 100 times. Nukem. Welcome to the KingCast. Mark, how are you doing? I am doing great. Welcome to the KingCast. Mark says, with Microsoft's backing, hopefully costs will go down for us. That's interesting. That would be very welcome in my book. Sure. It sure would. Let me say quickly again, I mentioned it right at the first, but we can talk about it for just a minute. News also came out this week that the board at ZeniMax has been dissolved. And you say, well, what does this mean? Well, if you go and look at who the board members were, and I have a list of them up on another screen, and I can tell you, but they were not making major decisions, okay? The board was like actors and lawyers, and you know, they would give their suggestions and all this stuff, but they were not the CEO, if you will. They were not the one that really flipped the switch and made the decisions. Well, with Xbox now having the overseeing role, the one that can advise Bethesda on what to do and literally tell them what to do, there's no need for the ZeniMax board anymore. So you can go and look up who was on the ZeniMax board. You may be surprised. Again, it was not gamers per se that was on the board. Okay. And it was expected. Yeah. As Kane says, it was absolutely expected. Okay. Nukem says, it seems I need to invest in an Xbox. That's what Xbox wants you to do. That's exactly what Xbox wants you to do. That's what they expect people to do as well. And that's why I say, again, my opinion is Starfield is going to be a timed or limited exclusive where either you get things earlier or you get more things. That's just my opinion. Hopefully they don't go the full exclusive route. That would mean you could only get it on Xbox Game Pass on computer and Xbox, obviously. I believe there would be some Bethesda games that are like that, but I hope the BGS games will not. Funny story, before Fallout 4 came out, I had a dream about it, and I was playing Fallout in co-op mode. Some years later, Fallout 76 comes out, and Locks played just like my dream I had. Talk about crazy. That is so great. I've always wanted to play Fallout with somebody, and now we can. Let me break just for a minute and say, hit that like button if you haven't hit the like button yet. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. I do all kinds of things on this channel. We cover lore. I cover news. We have a podcast every Saturday. Normally, we have a live stream every week as well, especially when there's new content coming out. So if you love Bethesda, hit that subscribe button, and I appreciate you hitting the like button because that helps the algorithm see the video. And lastly, go watch the scary places after the video. The Borg? No, not the Borg. The board. The board of directors. My accent is bad, I know. Let's see. Mark says, saw that about the board. I think Microsoft wants more directness to Bethesda. Yep, sort of eliminating the middleman, and I was not a fan of the board. Amen, Mark. I'm right there with you. In fact, if you go back and look at what the suggestions of the board were, and you can find those, they actually go against what most of the time what I wanted and what they eventually wound up doing with Fallout 76. And a lot of the microtransactions, by the way, came through suggestions from the board. So let's see. Nukem or just get Game Pass for PC. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. The DBZ collector says, if they did then go full exclusive, then I'd finally have a game I want to play that isn't on PlayStation. Yeah, absolutely. Let's face it, and y'all know this, Xbox needs exclusives. They need them bad. And y'all heard me go on record and say what I said about Starfield, what I believe. But you've also heard me say this, and this is so true. I couldn't yell it loud enough to make it any truer. If they ever wanted to make a BGS game exclusive, Starfield is the one to do it on, because you don't already have the built-in fan base from Fallout and the Elder Scrolls and all that. It's a new IP. New IPs are perfect for exclusives like you have with Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo. By the way, remember Deathloop is coming in May, the end of May. And it's going to be a PlayStation exclusive. But if they ever wanted to do an exclusive, Starfield would be the one. And we're just going to have to see how aggressive they're going to be on the exclusives. I think we were all a little, maybe not everybody was shocked, but I was a little surprised how much Phil Spencer pushed that future Bethesda games are going to be best on Game Pass. In other words, he wouldn't answer the question, but he says, if you want the best experience and you want to play them, get Game Pass. So that's a big hint of what's coming. Guys, we are in the final 10 minutes of the podcast. Y'all can talk about anything that you want to, anything we have talked about, anything we haven't talked about. Y'all throw out your questions really quick because we're in the last 10 minutes already. Mark says, question to chat. Oh, you're asking if you can play on PC, why play on console? Not that I hate consoles. I will say this about the difference between PC and console, and I am taking the word of Joey Caps Gaming. Y'all know Joey Caps. He got a new Xbox, one of the new ones, and he says, well, let me first say, if you've ever played Fallout 76 on PlayStation 4, the old Xbox, and PC, if you've ever played them on a console and PC, you'll see a huge difference. It's so much smoother on computer. It's so much faster on computer. Of course, it's according to your PC, but if you've got a PC and internet that runs it, it is so much smoother on those. But according to Joey Caps, the new Xbox plays it like a PC plays it. So to answer your question, the bad thing about PC is all your dupers, all these things, the cheaters, the people even getting your stuff, most of that happens on PC. So that's the downside of PC. You have a lot more security when you're on the consoles. Let's see, probably a hybrid 6 months before Sony and other platforms. Yep, there's a limited exclusive. What he's talking about. Kane says, "Oh, King, there was a tweet from Pete." A tweet from Pete, where he implied that crossplay was coming for 76. I didn't see that, Kane, but yay! Since you said that, and I alluded to this back a long time ago. If y'all follow the Kingcast, I love when I get to break news for you guys, and I've done that several times, just right here on the Kingcast. But it was 2 years ago at QuakeCon. So it wasn't it because this past year we didn't have it. So I'd say, a year ago, a little over a year ago, I heard them specifically talking about crossplay for Fallout 76 and that they were very close. The only holdback was Sony. So since the beginning, y'all think about this, since the beginning of Fallout 76, Bethesda people, this is who I heard it from. Bethesda people said they were very close on crossplay. But after that, you didn't hear them say another word about it. Well, you say, well, what happened? Here we are 2 years into the game. What happened is, I think Sony put the brakes on. And now, guys, and I love this, Bethesda has always pushed the other gaming companies. Bethesda pushed Sony about mods back with Fallout 4. Bethesda pushed Xbox, if you know Todd Howard's story about, I believe it was Oblivion, the game Oblivion. They got Xbox to double the storage amount on the console before they released it, so they could make Oblivion right. So they love pushing these game companies to do what's right. With all that said, Bethesda now being owned by Microsoft, they've got Sony really in a hard place negotiating, because they can say, okay, you don't want to do crossplay? Fine, we'll do it with PC and Xbox now, which I think they could have done a long time ago. But now that they are all one, of course they can do it. And, Sony's really going to look bad if they don't. So that's great. Thank you, Keynes, for telling me that. Let's see. For me, you're talking to Mark. Okay. Bethesda or ZeniMax would be the only reason I buy an Xbox. Well, I was a Sony guy for years, Nukem, and I bought an Xbox because of Fallout 4 and the modding situation and all that. Sony just didn't want to do it at first. If you remember, they didn't want to do it at all. Jeremy says most of the time PC costs more than console. That's why I play on a console. That's another absolutely wonderful comment, because if you're going to get these days a gaming computer, it's going to be a lot more than a console. Trust me, a lot more. What is coming that is PlayStation exclusive? I missed that. Well, there's 2 games from Bethesda that are going to be PlayStation exclusive. These are going to be the only ones. it is Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo. Those are going to be limited. They're going to be exclusive to PlayStation for 1 year. So that's what PlayStation people have coming from Bethesda. Trey and Alice says, it's always wonderful to watch your videos, King. Lisa and I love you and the Queen. Thank you so much. Hey, King, the gesture is back. Hey, Ian, what's going on? I have missed you. DBZ says, I finally got a PS5. Now I want the RTX 3090. Greedy. No. We're just wanting stuff. I'm that way too. John Lee, hey, welcome to the KingCast. Does the 7.5 billion purchase of Bethesda kill crossplay? No, I actually think it makes it closer, because I think it really puts Sony in a hard spot, because now you don't have 3 people talking about crossplay. You've only got 2 people talking. Does that make sense? I mean, because Xbox and Bethesda are together, so you've got your PC and your Xbox are together now. So let's see. What's crossplay? Being able for me on PC to play with you on Xbox Fallout 76. So no matter what platform you're on, you can play. See, right now, I actually have characters on all 3 to try to play with some of my subscribers. I have an Xbox character, I have a PlayStation 4 character, and I have a PC character. Won't it be great if we can just all play together no matter what platform we're on? Mark says, King, MS is going to make a big push to put their store on PlayStation. Yeah, Microsoft. Sony, on the other hand, is releasing titles on PC, and Microsoft is going for exclusives after contracts. Lord Goshen says, if Microsoft gets them to remaster Morrowind or Fallout 3, Microsoft will make the $7 billion back. By the way, I think we have a lot better chance now of getting remasters now that you have Xbox, because not only do you have the Bethesda studios that we know of, and I believe there are going to be more supporting studios out there. You have all of Microsoft studios that can actually work on a remaster. Hey, Lady Braven, I didn't tell you hi a little bit ago. Thank you for being here on the King's Cast. Let's see. Ian says you missed us. Well, I missed you too. Deborah, hey Deborah. Want the PS5 so bad, can't find it anywhere. Any ideas, King? Yeah, I do, but you'll have to pay a lot more than it's worth. I would say wait. You can go and find some online where people have bought them and then up the price. If you're just dying to have one like right now, that's a way to do it. But I don't like to reward those people that have done that. So that's just coming from me. I'd probably just wait a little bit, and stores are going to get them. Let's see. I agree with Mark. Hey, I'm glad. Soon we will have a Game Pass on PlayStation and PS Store on Xbox. That will be great. That will be great. I don't know how soon that will be, but we'll see. Lady Braven says that would be fantastic to have my PS4 character transferred to Xbox. Wouldn't it be great? And I would like to play with all you guys, because I'm on PC mostly. So Garrett says, playing any ESO King. I just started playing again. It was a lot more fun when I got my fiance involved. I haven't in a while. I do have a couple of ESO characters, and I have it on my PC, and I play it. I think I have it on Xbox too. But I haven't played lately. Like I said, I've been replaying Rage and Doom Eternal, and Rage did not get enough props. I enjoy that game. If you haven't tried it, you might pick it up at the bargain bin. It's good. Rage 2. Microsoft has studios that just work on remasters. Amen, Kane. That's exactly what I was talking about. There's a lot of support studios. Bethesda has them too, by the way. But yes, Microsoft has a lot of those support studios that can basically help another studio with a project or do a remaster. That's absolutely right. Let's see. John Lee says, wait till next gen and then you'll get it easy enough. I don't think she wants to wait that long. Jeremy says, buy direct from manufacturers. They will get them faster. There you go. Mark says he likes the Queen's hair. What about my hair? I've been fixing it all day long. Can't we just all get along? Of course we can. Garrett says, are we going to get any Queen Starfield streams? I bet she will. I bet she will. That would be neat. Ian says, now I'm looking forward to a new map, Fallout 76 in Expedition, and seeing new creatures. Y'all remember, write Bethesda. I'm out of time here, but write Bethesda and tell them what you want in future content. I want some of the buildings that are already there on the map to be opened up. And if you want that too, write them. And maybe if enough of us write them, Mark, that was bad. You're terrible. If enough of us write Bethesda, maybe they will do that. So Deborah says, yes, it's killing me that she don't have that. I'm so sorry. We all love you and your Queen. Thank you, Deborah. I appreciate that so much. I want to thank everybody that's shown up today for the KingCast. We cover a lot of news here on this, and I know people pop in and out. If you want to be updated on everything, go back as soon as this processes and watch the whole podcast. I hope you will enjoy that. And again, one more plug. If you haven't watched my brand new Fallout 76 Scary Places and you like lore, you like to learn more about the game you're playing, then please go check that out. But other than that, I'm going to tell y'all, hit that like button, and I hope y'all have a marvelous and blessed rest of the weekend. Thank y'all so much for all that you do. One big shout out to my patrons too. Thank y'all. Y'all keep me going. Bye, guys.